And we're live. Good evening, everybody. Bob Zagami here with RVing in New England, and Mr. DePietro is here. And if you want, you can wish him a happy birthday. He's taken time out of his busy birthday bash and joining us tonight. We got a great show for you tonight, right, John?
We do. And look, we have a special. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. What is it?
That is a tail light. Because tomorrow, a big topic with RVers, Bob, is bicycles and RVs. You always see these RVs with, 8 or 10 bikes strapped to the back, especially the travel trailers that have the kids. But I've seen so many couples come in with bikes. And in the last year or so, thanks to Bill Sell's guidance, I've noticed a lot of these bikes are e-bikes. So mine arrives tomorrow, and we'll have it for our event down at Normandy Farms next weekend. And I've got my helmet, my elbow pads, my knee pads. So
you're going to take it to Normandy Farms and embarrass yourself in front of 500, 700 people next weekend.
Maybe our guest today has an old helmet, some shoulder pads, and some hip pads, and some.
You'll need his entire uniform. We are very fortunate tonight. We have Josh and Amber Gordy from Warthen RV Park in Warthen, Georgia. I'm probably mispronouncing that because I'm a northern guy here. So I want to bring them up. There isn't a whole lot of local stuff. Other than the fact, we have two things. We should just jump in there. You're doing the Halo's Wish Northeast Region Camping Charity Halo's Wish event at Normandy Farms next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Not this Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
And then
18, 19, and 20.
Right.
And at the same time, I'll be heading south and you'll be heading north because there's the big event up at Lee's. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, I'm heading up to Windham, Maine, and Lee's Family Trailer Sales is hosting a camper college with Janine Pettit and the Girl Camper community. So we've got a great event all day with seminars. Yes, sir. It only took you about 3 minutes to give me a timeout.
Look, history has been made again. Kessler made it.
Wait,
Kessler's here.
Then we should bring our guest right up then. So anyway, the 19th I'll be, and we'll talk more about that next week. We'll give you some previews for that. But let's bring Josh and Amber up on the screen. 3, 2, 1. There you are. And we have Josh and Amber Gordy. Good evening, folks, and welcome to RVing in New England.
How we doing? Hello.
The reason we had to bring you up right away is Rick Kessler, who's the managing editor, and he's kind of like one of the top dogs over there at RV Business. He takes liberties with our show and usually winds up coming in around 7:30, 7:40. See, I always know when we have important guests on because he actually arrives early. So say, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Mr. Kessler. We're happy to have you here. We got Scott Nichols from Mansfield. Scott, thanks for joining us again. Gail Hogan. Good evening, Bob and John. Gail is, her and her husband, Steve, they don't have state directors for Good Sam clubs anymore, but they're in recess for that. So they run the former Good Sam chapters in Rhode Island. Ronnie Layberger's on. He says, happy birthday, John. Ronnie's with Bradford RV up here in Brockton, Mass. Jim Conboy, trying to do 2 Zoom meetings simultaneously. This show be interesting. This show's always interesting, Jim. Give me a break.
Shut the other one off.
What? Yeah, just cut the other one off.
This is going to be a great show tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a guy who was caught stealing signals in the NFL and was suspended.
Who's that? What?
Did he? Oh, no, that was the Patriots. Sorry.
I'll get back to our guest on the side. Kessler says, fire up Chips. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yes, I know.
He's talking about you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, Chip. Oh, that's right. He's in Michigan.
I noticed the logo when he first popped in. I was gonna call that out. I was going to get him to change the logo while we were on the show. Can't have it in the chat room.
No. So you guys.
That means Kessel will be active anytime you can bring something to Michigan. Chris Andrew just joined us. Chris and his family own Hemlock Hill RV in Southington, Connecticut, one of our great New England RV dealers, and glad to have you back, Chris. Yeah.
Have we publicly expressed our condolences to Chris on the loss of his dad, who was
on the website? But Chris, obviously our condolences and prayers. The family lost Ray Andro, who started the family campground and built that into a dealership that it is today, and it's run by Michelle, Chris's sister, and Jason, who does the service end. And glad to have you back in the saddle and back here again, and hopefully you're back out in the campground this weekend. So, Josh and Amber, how the hell did you wind up? What?
Well, we got to warn them about this audience. Well, not warn them. We got to tell them about this audience, guys.
I did beforehand when I prepped them.
You've been on other shows before, okay? Because we've seen y'all on other shows, okay? And when I start saying y'all, it's because I was just talking to somebody in Texas earlier, so I have to say y'all. Because if I say yous guys, they don't know what I'm talking about. This is the only show you'll be on where the studio audience, we have a live studio audience, and we've had them here for a couple hours now. We're giving them roast beef and turkey and chicken sandwiches and everything like that. They are part of the show.
That's good.
So we don't even have to prepare for it. They will ask you questions, and they're a great group of people. And I guarantee you, when you're done this show, you're going to call your friends and say, we just had the best time of our lives on RVing in New England with John DePietro and some other guy.
Okay, is that you, DePietro?
Not mine. Oh.
Not mine.
How did that get on here?
Huh?
That was my daughter trying to FaceTime me. Okay, but I don't know how that came on here.
Okay. I want to get down to some serious stuff.
We got to get to Georgia.
I want to know how, after your NFL career, and I know from one of your other podcasts, you two met for the first time at Central Michigan, but you went your separate ways, I think, and then you kind of met back up again. So why don't you pick up the story at that point and kind of tell us how you got to owning a campground in Georgia?
Well, as far as the campground, I'll let her handle the relationship part.
Smart. Josh, you are very smart.
Yeah, I don't want to mess nothing up. If I mess it up, sleeping outside.
Well, before they even answer, I can tell you the short answer as to how they ended up owning a campground. Josh took many hits to the head.
Nah. So yeah, even while I was playing, this was during my playing days, some land came for sale that was close to where I grew up at. And it was just a good opportunity to acquire that land. And it was a good price, so we went ahead and, purchased that. But then it wasn't until, a short while after, just trying to strategize on what to do with it, so I can, potentially make money off of the land. And, so it's kind of where the idea of an RV park showed up. And honestly, we were supposed to have a big project in the area coming. And, it's going to be a lot of traveling construction workers and everything. So 5-year minimum job, just trying to be opportunistic about it. Like, hey, let's put in these hookups for the campers. We don't have anything like that around here this size, chance to capitalize off of it. And, but long story short, you probably heard on other podcasts, but that didn't end up happening. The project didn't end up happening. So, from that point, just, really made us have to dig deep into advertising to the RV community. And, just to be transparent, we weren't RVers by any means. So yeah, learning curve. But ever since then, man, it's been I love the community. Just being a part of it is different, but everybody loves each other. So it's been a good job.
You bought the land and then built the campground, or you bought a campground?
Yeah, it was raw land. So yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that is a major leap of faith when you had never even RV'd before. And so who did you consult with? Who did you talk to about all the specifications that you needed and and how to line the park up to get the most dollar returning usage out of it. So how'd you do all that stuff?
Yeah, so just quite naturally, we went around to parks that was, in the state of Georgia, closer, kind of in the same scenario as us, sort of off of the beaten path, and just seeing the kind of things they did to make it a success. So once we did that, had sort of a general idea, then reached out to, obviously some engineers to help with the planning, as far as the sewer and everything, where to, how to place everything, and went from there, and from the time we built it, it was built to, really serve the needs of, again, traveling workers. So it wasn't really set up as an RV resort, if you would, from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
And as of late, past year now, we've been really hard on trying to, develop into a more enjoyable park, one destination type. Like, hey, I want to go out to Warthen for the weekend type park. So been doing that, and it's been showing some great improvements. So
that was my question: is what percent is it seasonal? What percent is it, recreational?
So again,
47 sites. Out of the 49 sites, guys, how much of it is seasonal business, and how much of it is weekend travelers?
Yes, we try to set aside about 30 of the lots for weekends, in and out, group gatherings. We have a lot of group gatherings. That's what we're really focusing hard on now. We have a lot of rallies held in the park. So, but yeah, the other 20, we try to reserve those for our long-term folks for right now. So yeah, that's what's been working, and just reinvesting as we go.
Have you taken any industry training, like RVic training courses, campground management type courses, or your state campground owners association? Have you had time to look into any of those activities yet?
No, not yet. And actually, something I was talking about last week about one of the RV owners association. I'm going to look into actually signing up for that. I know it can be a good asset to obviously owning the park. So, and just from the time being, it hasn't. I guess we're kind of spoiled. So it was mostly long-term campers. So, it didn't really take too much, training. It was, hey, got a lot, come pay your lot rent, stay however long you need, and then move on. So, but now that we're, again, getting over to the recreation side, it's going to take some, learning curve, which, we're willing to meet head on.
Hey, let me address this to Josh, and Amber can probably jump in on this as well. But NFL players, any pro sports players, are usually preyed upon by investment schemes and that type of thing, where you got the money, but you're young and all that other stuff, and they say, we're going to handle all your money. Did you have any of those people try to be your best friends while you had the dough coming in from the league? Because I don't know of anybody that would say put money into an RV park as an investment. I don't mean that derogatorily. I mean, this had to be your own idea because you grew up there, right, you guys?
Yeah, that's right there. It's literally back. I mean, it's my land ends right where my mom's land starts. So, yeah, it was. This wasn't anything anybody brought to me. Now, obviously, I've had people reach out with different ideas. But a lot of times, the way you just handle that is, hey, okay, send me a business plan drawn out. Give me a business perspective, and that's usually the last time you hear from them. So, there's ways around that.
Now you're doing some social media also, though, because I know you got the Instagram account, you got the Facebook account. You're active on that. How is that outreach going, and are you getting people from further away? When do you see your demographics? Because I think when I looked at the map, you're about 60 miles from Augusta, about 120 miles from Atlanta.
Correct.
Near an interstate or major route?
Major route. US 1 is coming down along the East Coast. We're a little bit off of that, and also the Fall Down Freeway that shoots through from South Carolina, North Carolina, heading down to either Alabama or to the Florida Panhandle. So what we usually do get people stopping in just like one nighters. They're usually coming from North Carolina, traveling down to Florida to the Panhandle. So they'll stop in, give us some business and keep it rolling. So,
well, you could become, you could be, I think, a good snowbird destination for people in the north who are heading south and going over to the Panhandle and the Gulf Shores. It'd be a good place for people to stop over. I know John and I did a project with the Myrtle Beach Campground Association a few years. Actually, it's probably been 5 or 6 years now. And they wanted to build up their shoulder traffic. They don't have any trouble getting people in the middle of the summer, but in the shoulder traffic. So we helped them develop some programs to get people who were either going to Florida in the fall or coming back from Florida in the spring. And that's a good thing. Plus, the fact that you're only 2 hours from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the population is down there, but there's an awful lot of people down there, and people within 2 hours. That's a tremendous opportunity for you there for people and families to come over. And I notice you've got some of the ATV activities and stuff, so you're building it out for other activities within the campground itself, correct?
Right.
Yeah, but what role?
Who does what there? Amber, what's your role during the day? Amber, what's your role during the day? And Josh, what's your role during the day? Hopefully Amber counts the money.
Far as me, my role during the day is usually, for right now, the social media side. And also if we have an event, then I kind of put everything together and make sure all the activities and the schedule runs how it needs to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always some sort of a visionary. I'm always coming up with ideas and just running.
So is it just the two of you, or have you hired a manager, or do you hire work campers? Have you participated? Do you know what the work camper program is, or have you participated in it? Yeah. So right now, my mom, she's the on-site manager. She lives right there, so that's sort of a perfect fit. And yeah, as far as work campers, we do have a couple that's in the park actually right now, help with a lot of the ground maintenance and, just keeping things clean, tidied up. If anybody needs anything type. So yeah, we do have some work campers. And I know you spoke about ATVs. It was that was just sort of a pivot, how with any business, you gotta find what opportunities you have. So, in that part of the state, it's a lot of rural land, and with that comes a lot of dirt roads. So, I grew up riding four-wheelers and everything. So I was like, man, this could be a good, good attraction while people are here. And it's been that. So, it's definitely one of our, number one things to do when you get there, and people love it. Something new they've never done. If they do have them, they're in places where they can't ride them. We can take 2 hour rides and everything. So
you can ride right from your facility onto some trails.
Oh yeah. Cut straight through the woods, hit some dirt roads, and everybody like, man, I don't know how we got to where we got, but we got there and we made it back. So it's fun, and we do them at night, so that makes it even more fun. So
now, this is one of the pictures that you sent me today, Josh, right. And it says, "Who's ready to ride?" So is this a special event, or does it actually looks like it's coming up this weekend, September 12th?
Yep. So we actually got a group of they're campers and they're ATV riders, nomadic riders. Reached out to them a couple of weeks ago, and they said they were interested in coming out to the park. So we was like, hey, let's put it together. We're gonna plan out a nice ride, one that we could take a long time. Stop, refuel, whatever what you got to do. So we just invite people to come out and ride with us. It's gonna be a good time.
How many you got coming in?
Say it again.
How many you got coming in?
Oh, so from that group, just that group itself, they're bringing, I think 7. They're themselves bringing 7, but by the time we have everybody else that's joining, hey, we might be about 30 ATVs riding that day. So that'll be a new challenge for us, and it should be fun. So.
Let me take a second and catch up because they're throwing questions at us back and forth here, but. Laurie Church has joined us. Hi, guys. Jim, I told you, Jim's Did you get off the other Zoom meeting, Jim, and pay attention to us?
This is
Doug
much
Turner.
more fun, Jim.
Glad to have you, Doug. 2 gals in the Boston Brood said that Jerry Plant's on from Cape Cod, and Rick Kessler says fire up the chips. We got that one. Scott Nichols. Rhonda says, good evening, gentlemen. Happy birthday, John. I don't know, Rhonda. Can you put up with this guy next the weekend of the
Where is she? I didn't even see her.
Fun Fest? She's just above Chris Andro. Made it for a bit. Frank Cates from Lynn, Mass. Mark Polk is on. Do you know Mark Polk? Mark and Don Polk from RV Education 101.
No, I don't. No.
Okay.
They're North Carolina people.
They're fantastic people. You're going to want to know them because they've got they're the best consumer education site in the industry, but they have products that you can sell. Do you have a store at the office?
Yeah, small store.
Yep.
Right now, just mostly like toiletry type things that you need. But nothing super fancy.
They got some online streaming videos, technical training videos for RVers, but they also have a book. It's called the RV book. And if you put that on the shelf, it'll sell all by itself, and it tells you everything that you want to know about RVing, especially with all the new folks that we have coming into the industry. Jordan Foose is on from the RV Women's Alliance. And Amber, we got to get you to join that.
Okay.
RVWA.org. It costs you absolutely nothing to join, but it's for women to help.
I joined.
You're not a woman, DePietro. Be quiet. You're not a woman. I'm trying to talk to the woman.
Sandy sent me an application this week.
Who did?
And I filled it right out. Sandy
sent an application. John,
she sent me an application.
That's embarrassing. A man of your stature in the industry, you should have been a member a long time ago.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But Amber, it's for women, and men can join too. You can join too, Josh. But it's
cool
to help women develop their careers, to network, to find other people in the industry that have similar challenges that are trying to do, whether you're building a campground or a dealership. So Jordan, I'll get you that information there also. Jesse Brissett out at Gander RV in West Hatfield. Jose Moniz, he's the executive producer of Rollin' on TV. That's the nation's #1 RV lifestyle show. And it's actually produced here out of Massachusetts. And Michelle Fontaine is the marketing communications director, and she threw a note up there. She says, Josh and Amber, you seem well positioned to be attracted to and to be able to introduce black families to camping. Are you finding this? Are you located on a highway? We already discussed the highway end of it, but I don't think you care whether they're black or white or Indian or in between. How has it been? I know there was the one story, Josh, if you want to retell it, I thought it was a disgusting story, but on your podcast about somebody that had checked in late at night and your mother went the next day, and tell us what they did. I thought that was embarrassing because we don't see that, but I guess it's a learning curve for all of us. Amber, you can tell it, or Josh?
Well, you want to answer the question first?
Well, you can.
The story about the guest, yeah.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, happened. A couple checked in to the park, they, a lot of times you don't know who really owns the park and nothing like that, but, set up and everything, we all RVers, and so, it don't take, it's not like a 5-minute setup, so it takes time to do that setup, and, finally met us face to face, and the husband straight up said it, like, hey, I'm not prejudiced or anything, but my wife, she just doesn't feel. I'm like, okay, whatever.
I'm not prejudiced. But I'm leaving.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. But you know what? And even after, I really don't know if a lot of our long term knew I own the park or whatever. They always see me out there, but even after that podcast you're talking about, we lost some more people. So hey, it is what it is. But yeah, we've been getting I guess Amber speak to it, a lot of support from the African American community, which it's good because you really don't realize how many of us are out there camping, and just to be just to be that place where, I mean, every time everybody step out the rig, it's like, man, it's just so relieving to be amongst so many others look like me, because every park you go to, you're the only one.
You know, you bring up an interesting point, and for the last 10 years that I've been in this industry from a marketing perspective, you see all the national associations say that the real growth opportunities are with the Black and Hispanic markets. They've been saying that for years and years and years. But in New England, you see very few Black people in campgrounds. Maybe because, the demographics are, it's not the wide open spaces like in Georgia and Alabama and stuff where, people are spread out. It's hard to own an RV, if you live in a city environment type thing. But are you seeing more and more non-white campers come into your place?
I think so. I feel like, there, like you said, it kind of opened up to where we learned how many of us are really out there camping and never knew that. But we are getting a lot of people that are first time campers that are, just want to experience. And again, it's about feeling comfortable. So they felt comfortable coming to our park. So after that first experience, they're kind of hooked now, I guess, in a way.
Okay. Let's get off the black and white thing for a second, where you said that this year we're seeing a lot of new first timers.
Mm-hmm.
What percentage of your crowd coming in would you say, they're either renters or they're first time camping folks? Is it a high percentage or higher than before?
I'll say I think probably 25-30% of them has been first time. And I think that's kind of it kind of comes from we're pretty active on Facebook social media groups like RV groups.
Yeah.
And a lot of the groups, that's where a lot of first timers go to get tips and advice for their first camping trip. So I guess it's just kind of natural when you're advertising there on your park and having events at your park, that's who you're gonna attract. So, but yeah, it's been amazing. You're like, man, I didn't think there was any more people out there that wanted to camp. So every time you talk, like, it's my first time, whatever. But it's been amazing to see, and just an honor for us to be the place for them to have their first trip. So,
have you had any crazy stories of first timers that forgot to do something or did something wrong, or you knew right away when you walked by that campsite they ain't never been there before?
Probably, yeah. Because one time I think I was inside or something, but I wasn't paying attention, and somebody was parking, and I came out, and the RV was like, get in the camera here, but the RV was like hanging off the site like this, halfway on the pad and halfway off. And it was like, oh, I thought I just had to level it up. And I was like, nah, you need to slide over, so.
Level it up when it was like this.
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
Well, one of the things that you sent me today, which I was really impressed with, is, and if Amber does social media, is this your creation, Amber, and part of your program? So all of you, Doug and Jerry and Michelle and Laurie, take out your cell phones now, right while we're on the screen. Use your QR code scanner and scan that QR code, and it will take you directly to their Instagram page. And that's clever. Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't know of any other campground. I don't know of any, you guys, Michelle, let me know if any of the campgrounds that you've been in have it. I'll have to check with Marsha Galvin up at Normandy Farms, but I don't. How did that come about, and what other social media activities do you have to bring attention to the park, Amber?
Honestly, that actually came from Josh. It was I'm used to it on other things that I've seen, but for the social media, just to take it directly to them, because there's been a lot of times where we're trying to explain like the name or maybe if missed something or they misspell it and it's just difficult to where you can just pull that out, as you said, you scan it and it takes you straight there, and all the information that you need is right there for you. So just an easier, I guess, modern day thing for you now.
Now, do you have one for, now that takes you to the Instagram site though, right?
That's Instagram.
Right.
Yeah. So do you have one for the campground itself to bring you back to the home page or to your Facebook page?
So once you get to the Instagram page, the website address is right in the bio. So then again, another simple click. You want to make it, you want to make it least invasive as possible for the consumer to get in front of you, so you can get in front of them, I should say. And we do a lot of our, marketing advertising through social media. We use that a lot. So, but yeah, so we sponsored an event this weekend, and that's when I thought about that. I was like, you know what? I have this. So when they walk up to the table, scan it, bam, they're there, instead of taking time, spelling it out, and everything.
Well, that's what restaurants are doing now with their menus, because they don't want to keep reprinting menus because of the COVID stuff. So they're just putting the QR code there. So let me go back for 1 second. Back to the football days, whether it's college or pros. But Josh, did you ever go to the games in these hundreds of RVs, or in some places thousands of RVs out in the parking lot on game days? Did that have any impact on you when it comes to an RVing related career?
No, not at all. I think
that was a great question. Not at all.
Yeah, during those days, it was when you saw those, I was like, okay, well, somebody got a lot of money, they able to come tailgate in the RV. But I did, I always knew, how nice they were. I've seen some before, obviously, but I'm like, man, that's, but game day, you're in the zone, you see them, hey, they out there, cool.
You're there.
As long as you make it inside the game.
You're focused.
Big business. Hey, let me catch a couple of notes. Jerry Plant says Campground Reviews has just one review on you folks. I assume he's talking about that. It was last year. You got an 8.0, which was a great rating. Now there's Campground Reviews, which are part of the RV Life group of websites. I don't know if you found those yet, Amber. And we can post those links or send those links to you afterwards. There's also Campground Views, which is Mark Kepp, and that's where consumers themselves or you can do a video tour of the campground and post your own view on the site for others to see. Have you done any of those activities yet or looked into those?
No, sir.
Okay, well, we'll get to that information.
We're coming back to take over.
That's what it's about, man. Just giving us different ideas. So
Yep. Well,
I'll be at the front desk, and Bob will be the maintenance guy.
That'll get with all my mechanical skills. I can direct them to the site. How about if I drive the golf cart and show them where the site is? Michelle and Laurie say maybe we'll stop by on our cross-country trip in October. They spend roughly 6 months in Massachusetts. And that's Michelle, who's with Rolling on TV, and her partner, Laurie. They go to Arizona in the winter. So they go back out there, and then they come back. So maybe they'll work in a trip and give you some exposure on Rolling on TV on one of their cross-country trips. Oh, yeah. Doug Turner says that place sounds like a blast. He loves to ride. Well, then get your butt down to Georgia, Doug, and you can do a first-hand report for us. Sandy Ellingson has joined us. Sandy is the executive director of the RV Women's Association.
Alliance.
She's a Georgia girl. Did I know that, Sandy? I'm not sure if we knew that. Sandy's she's a full-timer. Her and her husband.
What part of Georgia are you from?
Yeah, Sandy, let us know what part of Georgia. Make sure we got to get you there on your next trip.
Over on the east side. You near Savannah?
Say it again?
You near Savannah or Brunswick?
We're 2 hours northwest from Savannah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But 95
we're more middle Georgia, about an hour east of Macon.
Okay. I ain't been that way. I've only been down 95 and then 26. If I come down 26 from Columbia, am I close?
If you get on I-20, you'll be even closer.
Oh, 20 going east-west.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that'll be the best bet. And even coming out of, like I said, coming out of Carolinas though, the highway I was talking about earlier.
Okay. I don't want to cut you. Sandy has a good note. One of the things that in the RV Women's Alliance, you get categorized as to whether you're a manufacturer, a dealer, or a campground, and they need more campgrounds. So I'll make sure that you have all that information, Amber. Then you can be listed in the group. Jose Moniz says, great to hear, John. I guess he's talking about you joining RVWA because he says, I joined a few months ago. Now I don't have to feel alone. Hey, guys, I don't want to spoil your day, but I joined on day 1, and I may be the first man to have ever joined RVWA. Sandy will have to validate that. So she says, I had to. Okay, Mark Polk says, I'll send them. Okay, Mark's going to send you a copy of his book so that you can check it out. I'll make. You can get the address, Mark, or I can.
You should have those books right on the counter of your store.
Yep, right at the checkout.
Especially if they're new people.
Okay, so Michelle and Laurie say we would love to visit and stay at your campground and maybe interview you two. What do you think? Well, don't forget his mother too. She works there.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We welcome any and all interviews.
But you like all the interviews, right, Josh?
Any interviews.
Any that you can get. And you're great on camera. No, you're great on camera.
You're supposed to say we only talk to selected media outlets like you.
Yeah, you got to catch it. You got to catch us right now because in the future.
Right. Our technical, get this one, John. Our technical wizard, Michelle Fontaine, says, I haven't seen that. And she's talking about the QR code for the Instagram. I haven't seen that. And I don't currently have a QR scanner, but it's a wonderful addition. Michelle, I got news for you. In your programs on your desktop, I am pretty sure, depending on what model you have, there is a generic QR scanner. If not, they are free of charge. Go to the Apple Store. I'm not sure if she's using Apple. Go to the Apple Store, search on QR code. They're free of charge, and you'll have a ball with it. Dawn Polk, who happens to be Mark's wife, says she's watching on.
So I don't know if I want to slow you down. I don't know if I understand her question right, but she don't need an actual QR scanner. Like you got your phone, you just use your camera, and once you pull your camera up and lay it over the code, it automatically takes you where that code wants to take.
You don't need the scanner. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So you just pull your camera up on your phone.
So that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We also use it too, like when we doing the ATV rentals. We have another code that links to our payment platform. So whenever they're ready to ride, they hover over it, make a payment, and we're ready to go.
Just like that.
So you're renting ATVs also.
Yeah, I don't want to jump the gun. I did see somebody ask that.
No, I think that's great. No, that, as I said to you before, there's no rules on this show, Josh. You can make it.
I'm taking over the show now.
Go along.
Yeah, Hondas.
Huh?
Josh, you got Hondas?
Yeah, we got a couple Hondas. The Hondas, man. That's top. You probably know that's top of the line on the ATV as far as reliability.
The 4 or 6 place. You got any 4s or 6s?
Say again?
You got any 4-place units? That
ATVs?
Oh, I'm not understanding what you're asking.
The units that hold 4 people?
Oh, no, not the side by side. No, they're just 4-wheelers. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Yeah,
one person.
Yeah.
Jerry Plant brings up a good point. He says, I got to say that ethnicity of the campground owners doesn't really enter into my decision on where to stay. Well, I got to tell you, I've been camping for 40 years, and I never once asked the ethnicity, never worried about it, that other than to meet them and say hello and we're their guests and what have you. So I don't really see that as a thing going forward. I know GoRV put a lot. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I think that probably pertains to 99% of the population, honestly. People that's in the RVing community. But it just happened that, it just happened those times. But yeah, I think, everybody else probably feeling the same way that he is. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you, they are some of the nicest people that you'd ever want to meet. They help each other. They help the campground owners. The campground owners help them. It's a great thing. So Michelle says she does have it. Oh, Walter Swenson just joined. Walter's with the Mass Good Sam. He's kind of on that recess also, and he's also part of the Northeast Region Camping Charity event that John's going to. Chris Andro, and I have to listen to Chris because Chris is one of the good guys here. Chris, hey Bob, an idea that came out of the industry relaunch task force was for first-timers at campgrounds. Suggestion was for a campground owner to team up with a local RV dealer or tech to have on something busy check-in on busy check-in days to help answer all the questions the newbie forgot during their demo when they picked up their new camper. Seems like campground owners are spending a lot of time helping newbies. You're right, Chris, and it's unfair that the dealers put that task on them and that the consumers miss it. So I did an article in RV Pro recently about that and what I call the ambassadorship program. I'm not sure if you caught up with your reading yet. It's in the September issue, Chris, about having an ambassador type program where the dealers' customers do the follow-up meetings with the new owners and take them through the parts and accessory store, answer their questions about campgrounds, and something like that could be built into it. So we're on the right track with that, and that was one of the things that we want, because the industry itself is very challenged right now. The dealers are having some trouble getting replenishment inventory because they've sold so many RVs with COVID, and so many of those RVs, and some of our dealers report 50 to 90% are new buyers. Not only have they never owned an RV, but guess what? They've never been in a campground either. And
yeah, we know.
So you see that on a daily basis. So we have to be a lot more creative. And the reason I say that is it's a tremendous opportunity for all of us in the business, whether it's a campground owner, whether it's an RV owner, whether it's a dealer.
Yeah.
But they're newbies. Yeah. And a lot of them are the younger generation, whether it be millennials or Gen Zs. They're younger. They expect things to work. They expect to have good support. We have to support these people really well so they become customers for life in our industry, that they enjoy it and they go out and buy another one. They go out and tour the country, see other campgrounds, visit places to do that. So it's incumbent, and Chris does a lot of work. In fact, he's the incoming president for the RV Dealers Association. So NERV kind of has a thin line, pencil line up to the National Association. So he's been very active. His family has for years on that. So I'm sure we'll have some good discussions over at Jack Daniels one of these days.
As you continue to read those, he's got his water and I got my water too. So let me ask the Gordies if you all have any questions of our audience, because this will reach several thousand people by the time we're done with, posting it on social media sites. If you have any questions from a campground owner to us campers, and if we can't answer it right now, I'm sure that by the time a week rolls around and several thousand people have seen this, but does anything come to mind immediately that y'all want to know from us?
I think that, obviously from every owner, the first, thing I always ask, like, what are your top 3 amenities you want to see? So that, like I stated earlier, we're making that transition from, just being a work camper type park to now we want to be we want to be that destination, that weekend destination place, or hey, gonna stay for a whole week, but you want to be more appealing to more customers. So
I know our audience will answer that too. You guys, what do you want the top 3 amenities to be? And you can write them, just type them in. But I will tell you, I know the answer to the first one, and that is good, reliable, clean internet.
Yeah, we got you covered on that. We had some extenders put in about 5 months ago now.
Okay.
And since doing that, no complaints. Everybody's been able to. I know even when we do our movie nights during our events, we stream the movies, no problems. And we got kids. Yeah. My daughter, she doesn't like to be outside too long. She's always in the RV, streaming her TV.
How many children? How many children do you have?
We have two.
Two.
How old are they?
6 and 4.
Oh, have you put them to work yet?
My son literally just lost his front tooth like 5 minutes ago. He was showing us in the camera over there. So.
Would he like to show our audience?
I'll bring him in when he get back to the door.
Feel free, bring him in.
Yeah. Mike up.
Yeah. The key thing though is clean internet. You know,
yeah.
The funny part about camping is you go camping to get away from it all.
Yeah.
But you have to be connected.
Oh yeah.
You know, how about little kids? Do you see little kids walking around the campground with the phones in their face instead of going to the playground? You see that much?
I don't know about walking around. I feel like if they're doing that, I feel like they may be in the camper doing it. You know, so I can't say that because when they out and about, you know, we try to have a lot of activities for kids, keep them busy. So yeah, I can't say that I do.
And a lot of parents usually reach out to us, usually when it's a group event, and they ask that we do have children activities just for that reason, because they don't want the kids stuck to, the screens.
You're stuck on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, here's a picture of a big diesel pusher, and I saw one earlier about tents. So correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like you can take everything from tents up to large diesel pushers. And a lot of your pads, you did something that even some of the campgrounds that have been out there, we talked about this earlier today, that have been out there for 30 or 40 years, you laid down cement pads on a lot of your sites already. And we have a lot of campgrounds that haven't done that. But you run the gamut. Now, I didn't see, have you done any rental cabins, or have you thought about cabins, or are you pretty much from tenters up to the big diesel pushers?
Yeah, right now tenters up to your pushers. No cabins as of yet. Now we do have some stuff in the works. I don't know if we want to put it out right now, but
you just did.
It's half, Josh. It's half out. You might put it all the way out. I mean, they're not gonna run down camping this year. They're not gonna look, for the last 2 months of the year to rent it. But maybe for next year, somebody passing through.
Yeah. So we're on the cusp of closing on another property about 40 minutes from the park, where we got a big water feature out there, 4-acre pond. So that's going to be our plan with that one, is to put rental cabins around that. That'll be the main focus, obviously. And also talk.
Well, you're already, wait a minute. How long you had this place? How long you had this place?
The park?
This park that we're talking about tonight.
2012.
Since 2012. Yeah.
So,
So we're not too.
now you're going to do another theme.
So it's not going to be an RV park. It'll be more of a glamping destination.
Okay.
That's more. So it's a little different model. Now here at the park, we do ponds in the future, and so when we do that, I think quite naturally then we'll have some rental cabins around, centered around that as well. So.
Well, destination camping and glamping camping is big time. We had Whitney Scott on, who's the VP of marketing for KOA, about, I don't say 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you're aware of KOA's new venture up in Maine, just outside the Acadian National Park. It has no KOA branding on it. It's called Terramore, and it's a glamping safari tent resort. That's the only way to describe it. The RVs are not allowed in it, and it's just, I think they have 60 of them up there, but you park your car when you get in there, and you take all your stuff to your glamping tent in a little red wagon. And John, you were up there just as they were opening, right?
Yeah. Well, they were open a month when we got there.
What's the name of that place?
Terramore. TERRA-MOR.
No, there's no dash.
Well, okay.
TERRAMOR.
But
.com. Yeah, I'll send you the link. But that's one thing. And we also have a new campground up in Kennebunkport, Maine. They've been out there about 5 years now, but they've got everything. But they also have expanded into rental cabins, yurts, and glamping safari tents. So they've got the traditional campground with everything in it. And You can actually go down to the general store in the morning and order your lobster dinner at night, and come back at 4 or 5 o'clock, pick up your lobsters, go back to your campsite, and have a good old fashioned New England clam bake. So we got to get you guys up. We got to get you guys up. Have you guys ever been to Boston?
Yeah, I've been to Foxborough a few times.
Huh? You've been to
I've
Boston?
been to Foxborough a few times.
Yeah, Foxborough, yeah. All right, so 7:50. We still got 10 minutes.
Wait.
No, it's my turn, DeVitro.
No, we gave them the chance to ask the questions. Now we got the answers over here. Why don't you read the answers?
Yeah, we've been taking notes.
All right, wait, I'll read those in a minute. I have to ask him a question. I have to ask him a football question.
I think I know where you're going with it.
Seeing that you were with the Colts and you played against Brady, and Brady is now in Tampa Bay. Is Tampa Bay, under Tom Brady, going to have a better season than the New England Patriots under Cam Newton?
You can't put that pressure on me.
Hey, we didn't want you to think it's a cakewalk.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Man, that's honestly that's a tough question, because Cam going to a great system. He's gonna be successful as well. But I mean, we all know Tom. A lot of people don't like him, but you got to respect the man. I played him a few times. Haven't beat him actually. Yeah. But you gotta give respect where respect is due, man.
But you're right,
I'm interested to see how he do in Tampa Bay, because that's gonna really show and solidify his legacy. Going to a whole different team and just putting his stamp on it. So I'm gonna be definitely watching that close this year.
Well, I think all of us up here will watch all of the Tampa Bay games and hopefully all of the Patriots games. But when you get down to the X's and O's, I think you hit the nail on the head. And because you lived it, so you know it certainly better than us. It's really going to determine, when we look at the next couple of years, whether the success in New England was driven more by Tom Brady or more by Bill Belichick. Because my betting is on Bill Belichick, only from a standpoint that he's got such a brilliant mind, and no matter who you threw in the slot, you knew his attitude. It was just, who's next? Come down here, and here's our system. So is that going to work in the post-Brady era, as well as it did when we had Tom Brady over the center?
I think so. I really do.
So
another thing about Belichick is he's been well known to whatever situation he's gonna change things to make it suitable for that situation. Some coaches get cocky and try to run the same thing with different people. I think he's more conscious, knowing that, hey, it's a different system now, so we got to switch some things up. Cam he's a different athlete than Tom Brady was, so definitely use that to his advantage. So so if you're a big New England fan, you may know somebody who's actually from same county that the RV Park is in.
Say that again.
Since you're a big New England fan, you should know this person I'm about to name. He's actually sort of related to me, or are related. From the same high school from Washington County, which is where the park is located. He was a first round running back in
James White,
and he had a terrible injury that ended his career after his rookie season.
Oh, to his ankle,
knee.
His knee.
Came out of University of Georgia.
On the Pats.
Broke the rookie record that year.
Give me his initial.
Was this further back in there?
No, like 98. I think like 98.
98.
Yeah, that's
right. Let's see if I'm smart. I should know, because I go back to day. I'm so old, Josh. I go back to day one when the Patriots were formed in 1964, and when they played their first game at Boston University Field, and I go back to Babe Parilli and as the quarterback way back when, and Steve Grogan. So let me see if anybody did it. Anybody else come up with the idea? I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, in case you've just joined us, this is not ESPN. Being in New England.
Yeah, got you on the hot seat.
I know I'm going to kick my butt when you tell me.
Georgia. Who is it?
Robert Edwards.
Robert Edwards. Okay.
Robert Edwards. Wow.
Yep.
Man, I know the name, but I don't remember that much about Robert Edwards. Did he?
Because he was only there 1 year, made the Pro Bowl, and that's actually where he got hurt at, was at the Pro Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Was he with Grogan? Grogan,
no,
quarterback.
No, that would have been.
No, Bledsoe was a quarterback.
Oh, Bledsoe. Okay.
Okay. Who's now making wine in California? You know, he's got a big vineyard out in California. Him and Josh Daniels own a vineyard out in California.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I know Charles Wilson. He's doing that too as well.
Yeah.
We can answer their questions.
Bledsoe Vineyards out in I forget what part of California. I think it's in Napa Valley, but he's got that.
That's the beauty of being live.
What's that?
It's brought to you on broadcasting rights granted by the National Football League solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any broadcast, production, or any other use of the pictures, descriptions, and counts of this game without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited.
So Jose has to get in there with his quip. He says, "Boy, you're old." I never denied that I wasn't. You know.
But see, the thing that Zagami, who Mr. Know-It-All, doesn't realize is that Babe Parilli was not the Patriots' first quarterback.
No?
Y'all got me there.
Butch Songin.
Oh, you're right.
I know I'm right. I'm always right. So,
you're right.
If you can, I know it's your third Jack Daniels, but if you can read the
My
answer
first
to
one.
questions about what they wanted to know, what the top 3 amenities are that people wanted. And if you go back to Jerry Plant, he's got the first answer about 15 minutes ago.
I just like a clean park where everyone leaves you alone.
Okay.
That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Chris.
Frank says
somebody up above had one.
Oh, Chris says old school garbage collecting at the site. That's an issue. When we look at the forums this year, that's been a big issue. The campers are not as clean as when they used to be. Frank Kate says swimming, good spacing between sites with plenty of trees, shrubs, grass, well-supplied camp stores, so we don't have to travel out to the big
food stores.
To the big food stores. Well, Frank, if you packed your stuff the right way when you left home, they wouldn't have to be your backup food store for you. I mean, you got your nice little Airstream there. You can, pack a little extra there, stick it in the truck. Jerry says, got to do the tents.
Yeah,
that's funny. Jerry says that, and he's running around in a 35-foot diesel pusher. Who's going to do the tent, Jerry? Your grandkids?
That's what I hear this morning.
Oh, glamping tents. Okay, he corrected himself. He doesn't want the regular tents. He wants glamping tents.
Yeah,
we own it. We own it, Jerry.
We got 2 minutes left. We're going to wrap up and tell our audience who these people are and how they can find out more.
Well, Josh and Amber Gordy, and they own Warthen RV Park in Warthen, Georgia, 60 miles from Augusta, 120 miles from Atlanta. We wish them really great success. You will be successful. You're smart guys, and you're going to be very successful at what you're doing. And our audience, and certainly John and I, are here to answer any questions that you may have somewhere along the way.
And show us your shirts. No, show us your shirts.
Get up and show us the shirts.
Let's see if I can get in here.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Yep.
Relax.
Relax.
Wait a minute.
Okay. I take an extra large and Bob takes an extra large, and you can send them to Bob and he'll give them to me. And then we'll send you.
Yeah, we'll send. I'll tell you what. You send us 2 extra large shirts, and we will send you a Nervda and an RVing in New England coffee mug. How's that? Will that work for you?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll do it.
That's how I get free clothes.
Yeah. Now Kessler, I assume Kessler is still on. Mr. Cole is not on. Mr. Swenson, I'm not sure, is on. But I do want to make note of the fact that we have done a full 60 minutes, and Mr. DePietro did not mention Chef Boyardee in the can.
No,
one
but
time. Even though he's Italian, Amber, he eats Chef Boyardee out of a can. So we're about to remove him from his Italian heritage.
Blasphemy.
Okay, Frank says,
Don't-
Bob, I did pack extra. Don't blah blah blah. Okay, Logitech. Your recommendation for the Logitech headset? So I got my ears on. Good. He's got that on. Jose says, Josh and Amber, great meeting you here and look forward to hearing more from you. Best of luck. Doug Turner would love to bring the RV and quad to come see you all from Indiana.
No,
Chris
Bob.
Andrew says, Chris Andrew says, send me brochures for your place. I'll hand them out to all my customers. So we'll hand them. We'll drive you some traffic from New England, and I'll send you Chris's contact information so that you can send those out. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it. Amber, Josh, I told you the hour would disappear quickly. Anything that you would like to say to our fans? Because now you have a whole lot more fans, and we'll kind of like have the New England fan club for the Warthen RV Park. But anything you might want to say to our friends tonight?
Thanks for hanging out with us. Hey, give us a follow. Stay connected to what we're doing. Support us if possible. That's how we grow. So we're looking forward to what the future's gonna bring. Gonna bring a lot of new things to the park soon. So I can't wait to see it how it comes to fruition.
Well, you've been great guests. It is a great American success story, and I wish you continued success and growth. DePietro, I'll give you the last words, and they better not be Chef Boyardee.
Well, no, they're not Chef Boyardee, but see, guys, they're going to be so old that he can't read because Doug Turner said, I'd love to bring the quad to see y'all from Indiana. Not you all. Y'all. Y apostrophe ALL is y'all. And the plural of y'all is all of y'all.
Mm-hmm. That's
Right?
it.
Right. Okay.
That's it.
All right. All right. Good night, guys. We'll see you down the road. And if our travels take us down to Georgia, we'll be sure to stop in and see you.
Please do.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. All right.